What's up, everybody? We're back with season 2 of Music in the Minor League. That's right, we actually did it. We took some time off, but we came back. Here we are, whether you wanted it or not. We're here. We're not planning on going anywhere for a while, so hopefully y'all have been waiting for us to come back and y'all are happy to be hearing us again. So, what's been going on? Well, in our time off, we worked on a new record. We did a lot of touring. We finished that new record, and now we're finished with all the touring, so we're back with a new season. To kick off this season, we sat down with Bevin Luna, who we met while on tour in Fort Collins, Colorado. We played the Choice City Stomp with her, and man, was she killer. Like, it's one of those people, we checked her out before we played the show and just absolutely fell in love with her and her band. Kind of garage rocky, time there's some surf, and then even live, the time there's some straight up country happen. Powerhouse voice, great guitar player, killer band. I mean, how can you go wrong? So we were really grateful to sit down and talk with her. She's a transplant out of Memphis, Tennessee, with roots from her family and from the Dominican Republic. So it makes for a really interesting sound. And man, we just really do love her music. So we hope you enjoy the interview and you really enjoy checking out her music, which we'll get to here in a second. But just like last season, we gotta get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. First thing is, we finished a new record, man. It's coming out in 2 days. We'll be releasing the second single called Tough as Nails. That'll be released on all streaming networks. You'll be able to open up the pre-sale, so you'll be able to pick up a copy of the record, or at least help us fund that record, and you'll receive a copy when it comes out in March. We also have a video for Tough as Nails coming out, and we also have some shows coming up. Let's get to those. On Saturday, we'll be out at Shoeshine Charlie's Big Top Lounge. That'll be November 4th. On November 5th, we'll be playing at Houston Oasis. That's early. That's 10:30. Come out to their meeting, hear some educational stuff, and get some songs from us. The following Saturday, we'll be in Nacogdoches at Fredonia Brewing Company. Again, man, always a good spot, and those dudes know how to treat us right, so we love that place. And possibly that next Sunday on the 12th, we'll be playing Dan Electros with Grifters and Shills and Little Outfit. They did undergo a bit of a booking change, so we're not 100% sure the show's happening, but as of now, it's on the calendar, and we think it's going to happen. So that's going to be a real good one, man. So we hope y'all come out to that. That's enough housekeeping for now. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the talking and get to the new season, man. We hope y'all have a great one. Remember, if you like the podcast, tell your friends, share this on the internet, man. Help us get the word out, man. We're really excited to be getting into season 2, man. We hope y'all feel the same. First thing we're going to do is kick it off with a song from Bevin Luna's new EP called Madison and Jealous. This one is called A Little Bit of Arson Never Hurt Anyone.
I got people to see and places that I need to burn down, and people that I need to burn out of my head. And I know a kiss on the cheek will not take care of everything. So you better give it to me anyways, dear.
All right, everybody, welcome to the new second season of Music in the Minor League.
Music in the minor league. Do we have a jingle yet?
No, we don't.
I like that.
Now we do.
Now we do, yeah. We'll have to get you
Now you
some
have
that
it.
separately.
What have you been doing over the vacation?
So, we did an album, but that's beside the point. We're not here to talk about us, really. Well, maybe we'll see if there was a little 30-minute intro episode before this, you already know everything. If not, you'll find it out later. So, we're here today. We are coming from Fort Collins, Colorado today. We came in last night. We played a Choice City Stomp, and normally when you play a show like that, you'll go through and you'll listen to the other bands on the bill. And the first person to play was Bevin Luna, and we put on her music and we were listening to it, and then we listened to it a lot, and then we listened to it in the car. Mm-hmm. All the songs that when it was done, every song that came after it was awesome from all the other bands. So we're like, yeah, okay. Like even everything that sounds like this is killer. So we decided to hassle Bevin, see if she would talk to us. So we're coming from her loft studio here in scenic Fort Collins.
Welcome.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Of course. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we're not normally ones to, be overly nice to people and blow them up. So, I mean, we seriously, if you see that there's been more plays on the Spotify.
Right,
thing.
that's us. Damn, this went to the roof.
You track that kind of thing.
Extra 30 cents.
Right?
I'm going to get some cheese on it.
That's what I say, man. When you get that bean burrito, you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's one of those fancy times. It's like it hits my account. It's like, hell yeah, dude.
You can go splurge.
Living high.
We get the entire household $5 box from Taco Bell. We're covered.
Whoa.
That's what we did this week.
Thank you, working musicians.
Yep.
Anyways, let's cut past all of our stupidity. We're here with Bevin in her studio. And like we start out every podcast, tell us what led you to finding music and making it like the thing you do.
Well, my whole family plays music, so
Oh, you didn't have a choice, huh?
I didn't have a choice. It's actually a really good thing, though. It's how we connect, and
that's awesome.
been playing together for a long time. And when there's nothing else to talk about, we definitely pick up instruments. And my brother plays guitar and drums and bass, and my dad plays guitar, and my sister plays piano and drums. And my mom's side of the family too is really musical. So my dad's from Dominican Republic, so a heavy influence there from Caribbean style music. And
Oh, wow.
came from a super musical family. Like my grandmother played music too, and they traveled around together with a band. And then my mom's family is from Memphis, and so that whole side of the family obviously has a lot of influence from Southern music and R&B and blues and country and folk and all that. So lots of just music from a really young age, and just kind of a necessity now at this point.
Oh, yeah, man. It's hard to stop once you get going.
Yeah.
Plus, like growing up in Memphis, like that's one of that places, like it's right there on the edge of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So you've got all these different,
Totally.
everyone kind of meets up there. So
Yep.
I know from the years we've been there, it's been easy to find shows from being in like punk bands
Yep.
to, singer, songwriter, country, blah, blah. It's never that hard because there's always some scene of that happening around there.
Yeah, and it's such a good mix too, because everybody always kind of assumes Memphis is just like Nashville, but Nashville is so different compared to Memphis because it is such a blend. You've got hip hop, rap, you got R&B, you got rockabilly, you got country, you got punk rock scene, indie rock, pop music. Kind of everything down there for sure. Yeah.
It's one of the good things we have, I guess, around Houston. It's such an international city that you do have like pretty much all the music you can get from any like ethnic origin or anything. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what age did you really start? Would you like your first band or anything like that, or really going out and playing with people? Or
Yeah. So I actually always played at home a lot, but then I was kind of a late bloomer with the band situation. I played with my family, and then when I was in high school, I went to a performing arts high school in Memphis, and I was in the jazz band, but I was really obsessed with sports. And so I played in school, but it was more just because of school and family stuff, but it wasn't like I'm going to go start a band. So it wasn't until I moved to Colorado in, I think I started playing around here in like 2005. Out and about. So I was definitely in my early mid 20s when I started playing out in Denver. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So maybe like 23 or something, I started playing live shows.
Did you play with other people, or were you writing and
I was
singing at that point?
scared of playing with other people because I'd always play with my family. So I'd convince my brother to come out here and play shows with me. They'd be like, hey, come play the drums with me, So we did like duo sets, and then I'd convince his like bass player friend to play with us when I'd go to Memphis. And then I started playing solo shows, and that's when I really started meeting other musicians here and branching out. But then my brother moved here. He's like, I like Colorado. I'm gonna move out there. So then we played together here for a while. So it was kind of like, he was like my training wheels for a long time. But then Fort Collins, I feel like, I don't know if you've noticed it, it just has a really sweet music scene, and everybody's super supportive, and started meeting some really cool musicians around here and started playing shows with different drummers and bass players and guitarists. And my friend Morgan Coley, actually, he's from Texas, and he played drums and started playing a lot of shows with him, and just kind of built out from there. And then it's just been like this rotating cast of characters since then. So yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, I think the Fort Collins, I think the nice part about it is it seems to be like you see the same people at shows.
Yeah.
Like and musicians come to all the shows. It reminds me of like what we see kind of in Houston when in our scene is you see people starting to support other bands, and that's how it grows, you know. And I think that's a cool network to create.
Yeah, totally.
Because every time we've played Colorado in general, but especially like Fort Collins, like you just always have good shows.
Yeah.
You know, people show up.
Yep.
We're nobody, and they show up. What the hell?
Everybody was excited y'all were coming.
Yeah, that's the good thing, having someone, go back to a lane that's here that's like, oh yeah, I'm setting up this show, I'm doing this. And then once you meet her, it's like, have you met every one of my friends?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, it's like, you're friends with everybody here because everybody's super cool. And it's like, oh, dude, thank you.
Well, yeah, and it's like when Elaine tells you or suggests a band to check out, it's like guaranteed it's going to be good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep. I've never been disappointed with any of her recommendations.
Oh.
And Brian Johansson, actually, I heard y'all's episode with him before. I met him through the Fort Collins scene, and then he introduced me to Elaine. So that's just opened a door of all these amazing people in town who have just been incredibly supportive and helped us find good shows. And yeah, just really, really spectacular.
That's kind of what I like, even with, the Stomps and the few other things we've been to in Colorado. It's a lot of mixed genre where it's not like here's 4 bands that sound identical.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like if you were at that show last night,
Yep.
Bevin comes out and like blows the roof off. I was like, we got to follow this? Son of a bitch.
I'm so glad.
And then we played, and it was like people were like they were jazzed to see that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like Grifters comes on, they're like excited about that. And then Slim Cessna shows up, and it's like, what are we watching? I can't look away. Like, and everyone was just there. Like it's
the Appalachian music set.
I'm telling you, man.
Some auto harp and dulcimer and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I thought it was a great
exact
mix.
exchange like last night. I was like, I can't believe we had to follow you, and you were like, yeah, but I love these mixed genre shows.
Yeah, exactly. I was so happy that y'all followed, and it was great, and everybody was really digging it, and we loved it, and yeah, I thought it was awesome.
We have a bigger sound than I remember until we get on stage.
It was great.
But it's just fun to me because it's like, we're all pretty like musically crazy. Like, I come from bands, like I said, punk, hardcore bands, things like that.
Yeah.
Doing all this. And even me and John right now are working on like a stoner metal project. So it's
Cool.
like,
I do have footage of that.
right. It's just fun to have things where it's just like, okay, and most musicians aren't just like, I only play and listen to this one style of music.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's better. I think it's more enjoyable when you show up and it's like, okay, there's stuff all over the place.
Yep. I prefer shows like that for sure. I loved how y'all mixed it up too with Grifters and Shills and blended together and then kind of welcomed them to the stage and then exited and then they finished their set. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we came up with that like in 3 weeks because when Elaine put that up, I was like, with. She's like, oh no. Because we did it a couple of years ago. We did a couple of festival spots where we got put together. Because it was like, oh, we only have space for one band. It's like, cool, we'll do this combined set. It's going to be great. And then like we've been recording albums. We still hang out, but we hadn't been playing together. And it was like, okay, what do we know?
We ran the songs like 3 hours before in the hotel.
Really?
room.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell. I thought y'all had been playing together for weeks before this.
Nope.
But we also play like probably 60 shows together a year. So we know each other's.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
To the point where you start getting like neurotic, like they've heard this same set like 12 times in a row. They know what we're going to do.
You start giving them notes on their stuff. Like, Rebecca, you're a little flat there. It's okay. It's fine. I noticed.
I always tell John he's got to stop with the guitar solos.
Leave some notes for the rest of us, bro.
Right.
Jeez.
Especially when we follow, it's like, dude, stop. You can't play that solo when we're after y'all.
Like, yeah.
play
That used to be
chords.
our tour writer with them. Like, you can only
Right.
play so many notes per solo.
He was shredding for sure. I like how he snuck Thunderstruck in there too.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, is he going down the Thunderstruck lane here? Yep.
Yep, 100%.
You're welcome. So that was one of the things I told him because one time he was doing, I can't remember what he tried to do. I was like, dude, you should do a different like song riff every time at like the end of that freak out. Just like, I think he did Raining Blood one time.
He did.
And then we're like, yeah, dude, you should do something different like every time. Like going to like this Anthrax riff or do that and do a Thunderstruck. I was like, yeah, dude, just do all that.
Just can't wait till he starts playing Cowboys from Hell. It's gonna be so good.
It's good fun stuff. But yeah, speaking of being all over the place, like, from what we heard online, like I was expecting just like, straight up garage rock. You have the keyboards and everything. And then y'all kind of went all over the place too. There was like some straight up boot scooting country music.
There was a Charlie Crockett tune in there.
Yeah, Tanya Tucker.
Well, yeah, sorry, I do apologize.
I should have said praise Tanya.
Yeah, the young kids will be like, oh, that's Charlie Crockett.
That's what everybody always says too. They're always like, Charlie Crockett. And I'm like, well, but I do say she just took Jamestown Ferry. So that is Charlie Crockett's version.
That is his version.
Yeah, but
and they killed it, by the way.
Oh, man. I'm glad y'all like the variety in the set.
That was cool.
It was great.
Good. We like to change it up because it's nice to have a little bit of, what all your influences are and kind of infuse it into the set.
Yeah. I think it keeps it interesting for everybody else, too. It kind of breaks up. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
And plus, it's a good way to expose people who are like, I only listen to this.
Right, exactly.
Then they're like, oh, that was kind of cool. Like, I've never heard that kind of music. Like, that country thing sounded really cool right there. Then
Totally.
check that out. Then it sends them down that whole rabbit hole of like, well, here's friends of ours that play music like this. Check it out.
Totally. And then it gives the ears a rest too. So we're not just like blasting people with noise the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good call too. Yeah. I mean, you really have to, especially in a place like Swing Station. Because it's so, you're right there.
Totally.
Like there's all sound.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But I think it's just a fun way to honor different bands that we appreciate and, respect them and, mix it with originals and covers. And I come from Memphis where everybody's always playing each other's music, so it seems fun to do it now and just kind of, whether it's a new cover of Charlie Crockett doing Tanya Tucker or Concrete Blonde or, whatever it might be, or a local band that we like to cover. So
yeah, I was fired up on the Concrete Blonde. That's one of my favorite bands.
Oh man, me too.
So when I keep hassling Kim. It's like, we need to do Probably Will. We need to do that. You'd be great with that.
Yeah.
Especially with our lineup. I was like, that'd be perfect.
It would
So
be good.
Bevin said you should. So I'm just saying.
I think you should.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. I want to hear it. Record it. Send it to me.
Next time
Do
I come
it.
through, she wants to hear it. So
Okay. She said record it and send it to her. She's serious.
Yeah. Send me a demo. I'm
right.
going to check it out.
So I sent you back some notes. It's cool.
There we go.
You should really do this.
I'll take that.
There was a guy there last night who loved Concrete Blonde too, and he's been texting me all morning about all his Concrete Blonde vinyl, and he's like, do you have this on vinyl? And I said no. He's like, I got an extra, do you want it? I was like, I'm not gonna say no.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
I'll pay you for it, but yes, where do I pick this up?
Yeah, it's just when you find someone who's like, none of my friends like this band, but I found someone who loves them as much as me.
Yeah.
We're best friends.
None of my friends know who this band is.
Totally.
I mean, I probably never. I just had a girlfriend in high school that was like, this is like my favorite tape. And she gave me, like, that was the comp, still in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Like the comp thing. And I was like, oh, hey. They're another band that was like all over the place.
Yep.
Like, from Joey to God is a Bullet, it's like this whole
Yep.
5 genre jump. So
Yeah, like Still in Hollywood to like Tomorrow
Yeah.
Wendy's Gonna Die. you
Yeah.
know, that kind of stuff. It was a huge jump.
that was really what got me into Cheap Trick too, because on that they covered Mandicello on there, and I was like, ooh,
Oh, yeah,
that's
they're
a
great.
cool song. And I had to be embarrassed. It's like the more like nice, happy, like relationship soundy song. It was cool. She was like, that song sucks. Like, you suck.
We should break up, but you can't have that.
It's pretty.
Take back.
I like pretty songs.
What else do y'all like?
We like everything.
Oh, I grew up listening to, before the whole religious break thing.
Right?
I loved hair metal.
Yes, me too.
Metal, period, actually, I really enjoy. Grew up listening to like 80s country and
Yeah.
classic 50s and 60s pop and anything 80s pop, I love.
Yeah.
And then I got into, out of necessity, had to get into contemporary Christian music in my teens.
Like who?
And
Jars of Clay?
we're not going to talk about this again.
Oh, no, we're going down that road.
No, we're not.
You brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
And then,
DC Talk?
and I think when I moved to Houston was when I just kind of like, I just started digging just the hard rock kind of music was what I listened to.
Yeah.
And then I met Sam, and I guess that's not true. I listened to some local stuff, but Sam was just like, "Why do you listen to the radio? You should listen to all these bands."
Yeah.
I know, and I rarely turn on the radio for something new nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like a classic station.
Well, that's the best part about playing in a band is you get to see all these really badass bands that, it's like, well, I know those people. And they're just as good or better than a lot of the stuff you find out there. So let's just go listen to their records.
Right.
Totally.
Give them some plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also discovering that there was a whole genre that I completely missed as a kid. Didn't know anything about punk rock, really.
Yeah.
And the more I learn about it, the more I enjoy it, especially like female-fronted punk rock bands. So I'm not going to get out there and scream, but
I'm feeling
others
that's,
do
that's
it.
the next evolution of Brightwire.
Is it?
That's when we turn into our Rottweiler alter ego.
That's when I have more throat surgery and I get all gravelly sound.
There we go.
Perfect, yeah.
So it's funny because I come from that background, and Kim was the one who's in our band. Who's always, we call her Dewey because she's always like, play it faster. Play it faster.
Here's the punk.
You're acting like some kind of punk. You know?
I'm just going to say, as a lead singer, if your players slow down, you need way more breath to get through whatever line you're
Did
going
she just
through.
say it as a lead singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You know,
She just took that
get off
mantle.
your ass and do some cardio, man.
Dang.
No.
Are we gonna go there? I mean,
I don't want to.
right. I just have to play like
My arm hurts. I won't stop.
I've got. I mean, I've already had to have hand surgery due to you.
Me too. You wanted me to pick so fast, I had to have carpal tunnel surgery.
It's just I had carpal tunnel surgery like 10 years ago. I mean, just get on the plane. Just go.
saying.
But yeah,
Hurt.
and then like
It happens when you get old. They wear out.
Yeah, we do.
for like me musically, like my brother was 5 years older than me, so a lot of it was like he got really into skateboarding, and then he's like,
Yeah.
skateboarding sucks, metal's where it's at. So here's like my circle jerks and Black Flag tapes and stuff like that. And I was like,
Got
oh,
it.
cool.
Nice.
So, you know, I'm like in third grade getting in trouble for like, what is this band called? The Circle Jerks. Oh, this is going to the principal. Like, no, please, no. And then just after that, you know, I got the 90s hit, and it was like, I was a huge Faith No More fan.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd be a better singer too, but I
I
just
think you're fine. buddy.
sang
You're a
off
good
key
singer.
along with Mike Patton, but I can't, you know, I can't do the Mike Patton like.
Who can? Like
His
that's-
range is
that's a
insane.
very unique voice.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been singing along for like 30 years. I should be better.
No, that's not the way that works.
That's not how that works.
If you sing along the radio for 3 decades, you should be able to sing anything you hear.
Exactly.
Right?
Okay, Barbara Streisand.
Right?
Ooh, matchmaker.
Yeah, we got Epic when I was a kid, and just that video that came out with Faith No More's, which song was that? Where the fish is flopping around.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
That's
epic.
epic.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
yeah. Is that the name of the album too, though?
No, it's called, the album's a real thing. That
Real Thing, thank you. Yeah, so the video for Epic really set us off, and we were just obsessed with Faith No More after that first time seeing it. And then he was on the MTV Awards, and then he flops around like a fish at the end. And
Yes.
that was incredible. Yeah,
And then still just that big voice.
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
where is that coming from?
I know.
Some people lucky, man. Some people
No
lucky.
kidding.
Some people get all the cool stuff.
But yeah, but you know, same thing. I mean, you're from Memphis. It's Southern enough. It's like all your grandparents, stuff like that, or people you're around are listening to country and
Yep.
stuff. So it's like I said, my grandmother was a bartender in Beaumont, like in the 40s and 50s and 60s.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, oh man, this guy used to come and play at my bar. It's George Jones. It was like,
way.
okay.
Grandma.
That's
Which
amazing.
always was kind of like grandma's probably full of shit. And then they started going through this in the last season of Cocaine and Rhinestones, and it was like, yeah, they played these bars. Like, those are all the bars my grandma worked at.
Wow.
Like, grandma wasn't lying.
She was. I'm sorry, Grandma.
I doubted you.
I'll never do
I'll
it
never
again.
doubt you again,
I'm just
Grandma.
terribly cynical, so everything's like, yeah, really? Really? I have to overqualify everything, so I'm the same. Like, I'm like, no, that did happen. And here's like the photo from it. Here's this. I have to prove to you that
Be
I'm
the
not
provenance.
lying. I knew enough people who just made stuff up, so you know.
Yeah.
So what instrument did you pick up first? I don't
Guitar.
really.
Wait, no. In jazz band?
I played guitar in jazz band.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, so you actually play guitar? Okay.
You actually can read music?
He's a real.
Oh,
guitar
very
player.
slowly. Oh my gosh, that's been so many years ago since I did that. I
guitar
do
music,
tablature now. That's all I do. I just at one point when I was in the jazz band, I was reading music, and that was, I think I graduated from high school like 25 years ago.
I was in a jazz band too. I played bass.
Oh yeah.
But I also classically taught trumpet, so
Oh wow. Cool.
I can read that music. I can't read bass music.
Yeah.
It's all by ear. My band director didn't know that. He knows that now.
We had this insane guitarist in our jazz band too, though. So I was always second chair. So I was always like, okay, I'm going to run through my scales for my exercises during, rehearsal. And then at the main gigs, it would be like him shredding, Do y'all know Eric Gales,
I never
guitar
heard that
player?
name.
Yeah, he was in the jazz band before me, and then this other guy, Chris Harris. They both were just like these insane shredders. So I was always in the background, kind of like timid and scared, and playing the chords and just playing along, but never wanted to get in there and like improvise, So definitely, it was a jazz band ish experience.
Everyone needs a rhythm section.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
Well, my brother's a shredder too, so it worked out perfectly for me to just play rhythm behind him when
See?
he is a ridiculous shredder. So
Nothing wrong
yeah,
with that.
But man, seeing the SG back there. Malcolm Young was the heart of AC/DC. Angus is a
Yeah.
hell of a player, but without Malcolm, just like the rock.
oh yeah,
Steady.
There's no real.
couldn't agree more.
Got to have the rhythm. Got to stay in thing because
Yep.
you can be all over the place. Leads. Wow, you learn the 3 different lead riffs and you're set. Like, rock solid rhythm player.
I do love Malcolm.
We just pissed off
R.I.P.
a lot of shredders right now. Like, I'm not listening to this.
That's why I try to. This is the story I tell myself every day to deal with living with John Stoll. It's like it's fun. Well, I'm really good at rhythms. So
I count real good, like, okay?
I just naturally like 1, 2, and 3.
Well, just listening to y'all talk about, I just wish I'd picked something up as a kid besides the piano, because
The piano's the root of everything.
I was gonna say, I wish I had played piano.
So
That's
I
a
don't
regret I
actually
have.
play. I just took like a year of lessons when I was like 17 or 18. So I understand music from a piano standpoint. I don't actually really play, but getting something in your hands as a kid and
Yeah.
getting comfortable with it
Yeah.
would have been, I think, much better for me. Maybe my fingers would have grown a little longer. I could actually hold a guitar. It would have been great.
It'd been cool if, like, Kimmy got into early beatboxing. That's what she brought to the table. Like, what?
Right.
Oh, my God.
I was obsessive over the guitar for sure. I
Yeah.
started when I was 10, and I just would lock myself in a room and just play,
Wow.
over and over the same tunes, or just try to perfect certain songs. And
What did you have at 10? What did you have access to play?
my dad had a bunch of classical guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had his Starcaster Fender Electric. I don't know if y'all have seen those before.
Yeah.
They're
Hell
pretty
yeah.
rare actually, but
Yeah.
he still has it, and I would play that and plug it into his Fender amp. And it was such a difference between that big thick neck on the classical guitar and then playing his little tiny Starcaster neck. Was like, really skinny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was obsessive over his, record collection, and he listened to stuff like George Benson and Santana, but then he also loved like Led Zeppelin and,
Nice.
AC/DC. And coming from Dominican Republic, he was like, I want to play rock and roll, so he would always just like blast his amp on the weekend. So I'd just like obsess over what he was playing. And first thing I wanted to learn was Stairway to Heaven, of course.
Well, duh.
So I just like spent a whole summer playing the same song over and over. And they were like, you have to go outside and do something. Go play, go
But
do
it's hot.
something.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
it's
stay
Florida and it's
inside.
hot. Yeah.
Learn a second soul.
I know, exactly.
So did you know, like, basically from the moment you picked up an electric guitar that was your instrument?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I love playing acoustic, but it's mainly around like campfires with family. Like I'm going to Tennessee this Friday actually for a family reunion, and my brother and I usually sit around the campfire and play acoustics,
sweet.
stuff like that. But I love playing the electric. It's fun for sure. Trying to get different sounds and
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like a soundscape with different pedals and stuff like that. Or just a gritty backing rhythm line
Yeah.
is really fun to just play on, Yeah. I play a little bit of bass, but I wouldn't say that I'm an experienced bass player by any means.
I mean, you are. If you can play guitar, it's just now we're going to take it. We're just going to use the root finger.
We're going to slow this down. We're going to water this down a lot. There you go, kid. Now you're a bass player. By the way, I started out playing bass, jerk.
I mean, me too. But
Cool.
honestly, to me, my favorite bass players are the ones who kind of stay right there, especially when you're doing more like straight ahead rock, like even like, to be all genre, like more garage rocky kind of stuff. Like it's better to have that kind of do.
Yeah, I
thick,
love that
low,
idle mode. Just like,
Instead of just that do.
Totally.
It's like, what the fuck's happening? This doesn't belong here.
It's distracting.
too many notes.
Right.
You have a maximum amount of notes there, bass player.
also
You've
want to-
exceeded.
And there's
know,
like
and it
one
was-
song in your set that should be like that, and then everything else.
Right,
should be-
exactly. You can have that one
Yeah.
show off song, but don't have a bass solo because everyone's going to the bathroom. We all know
It's also
this.
cool because like I think a big thing that help with the set too is like your band gets it because like during sound check like your lead player's like, but then when you are playing it's like a lot of sustained like big rock notes. And
Yeah.
It's like dude knows the assignment. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
He studied.
I'm not here to shred over this. I'm here to make like we're rocking right.
Right.
Yeah.
This is booty shaking music.
And I love that you play with a synth player. Like that's it's not something you see in bands a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, it's been a recent development and it's been really fun. Justin actually used to play the bass with us, and then we started playing around with different sounds, and I was like, maybe we could add a synth in and just really create some, connecting sort of ambiance with songs and have that bass layer of synth sounds. And it's been really fun to have him add those in, and he's just really embraced it and jumped on it. And so now we play with Ronnie, who's playing bass, and it's been a fun addition to the different sets, Yeah,
cool.
It's definitely new though. I would say within the last maybe year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything I looked at online was like around a year old or so. So I was trying to get like a recent picture of what you've been doing.
Yeah. That's
All the
definitely-
best bands have a keyboard player, even if it's just
That's what
synth.
I was going to say. I knew you
Right.
were going to say that.
He's always playing stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Van Halen, Jump, or like, what kind of sound is that? Yeah, he's having fun with it though.
Yeah, those dirty like chords coming out, like the semi organ, modulation and stuff. It just always adds like a really cool,
Totally.
like 60s vibe to everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been playing some songs that he just really kind of builds it up in the beginning and then swells the sound, and it's like the intros to the song. But then on songs like Jamestown Ferry, he'll have that like organ, just sort of backing sound back there. It's just perfect. So he can really be versatile with it and accompany sort of any kind of genre we play,
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. How long have you been writing? I guess maybe we should start there.
Good question. I started writing when I was in my like teen years. I would make up songs when I was a little kid. Like my cousins make fun of me because they're like, yeah, you used to just sit around and make up songs. And then I went through a long period of just being obsessed with playing sports and scared to play the guitar in the jazz band because I had all these shredders with the band. And so I just kind of like withdrew from music, but played it just because I just had fun playing, but not really I didn't really feel like it was a necessity at that point. But I would say in my late teens, I really started writing songs. And I think it started with just the music itself and just the rhythm and the rhythm arrangements. And then the lyrics would sort of come afterwards. And it started to flip flop over the years, sort of reading and studying about how, songwriting works and different songwriters, how they write their songs and different structures, developing a melody. And so now it's starting to morph into not just me writing. So I've been writing with Justin, who's on the synth. And then this next spring, hopefully working with the rest of the band to actually write some songs together, because I've been really guarded about that my whole life. Like, oh, what if I don't like it? Like, what if we write something together and I just don't have a say? Like, I've always been so scared of that, but I've recently let that go. And I think the pandemic really helped me realize, like, I can't just do all this by myself. So started remotely writing songs together with people. And that's been really fun to start collaborating and not just be so guarded about everything.
Like out of necessity, you had to, or you were going to go nuts.
Totally. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
So
it's a cool way to discover something about yourself.
Yeah, it's been a process for sure. It's been an evolution. I've learned that I can't just like guard everything and assume that everything else that comes up from other people is going to be something that I'm not comfortable with, or I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. Y'all feel that way? Like, you ever feel guarded about music that you write or you want to share with people?
I don't write with them. They just send me notes and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll play those notes. It's fine.
But it's very like, I don't know, it's relationship like, sometimes it's good to have like that, I don't know, like little fling kind of relationship where you get together with someone, but more often you want someone who's like, okay, I can trust them. Yeah. Like, we're going to do this. We're making this together.
Yeah, like your friend Ben.
Yeah, and it's the stuff you don't want to have, or plus you don't want to have a song. It's always that fear of like, I'm going to write this cool song with someone, like, then they turn out to be like a jerk, or, suddenly post some crazy political shit on Facebook. That,
you're like, oh, gotta walk that.
And you're like, oh man, I really don't want to be associated with that dude.
Yeah.
We wrote a really good song.
But then every time you play it, it's like, this brings up bad memories. Like, this bums me out.
Totally.
You ruined it, Jerry.
So it's like, you got to kind of be like, okay, dude, like, I really have to feel safe with you.
Yep. Totally. Mm-hmm. I know.
I don't know. I still feel weird with Sam, and that really? We write together.
Yeah.
No, my whole life I hid all of my writing from the entire world.
Okay.
It's just me. But no, I think, the more you get comfortable with people, the more you throw it out there. And I've come with lyrics, and Sam's written music. I've come with a melody, and we've collaborated on lyrics. It just kind of depends on my mood, I guess. But I'm trying to be more. Obviously, my stuff is not amazing. It needs like that sandpaper of somebody else.
Yeah, I think your stuff's great.
Yeah, and I think it helps to have someone that you trust. That's out of the moment to stand back and go like, hey, this part's kind of redundant, or this is.
But getting to the point where I'm ready to let somebody look at it is where I have trouble.
It really is that trust factor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the band Blind Melon, like their first record, Brad Smith, their bass player, wrote everything, like lyrics and all. And then by the second record, he was like, like probably 9% of the songs. Second record is like, oh, here's some placeholder lyrics, but like, you're the singer, dude. I trust you to add lyrics to these songs. Like, I don't have to control everything like you. So it's kind of cool when you have bands do that, where it's like, okay, we're a unit now, and we can all have feedback, and it kind of also helps give that sense of ownership too, where it's like, okay,
right,
like we're in this together. It's not just I'm gonna walk in, they're like, here's what you play, or here's what you play along to this, and I'm gonna sing this, and it's like, well, cool, I'd like to have a say. Like, no.
Right, you're the drummer, you don't have an opinion. You're on the ones and twos. Come on, buddy, it's your thought. Right. Stay in your lane.
This current configuration that I'm playing with, though, these guys are all really creative, and, you know, they'll come to practice or rehearsal and just say like, oh, I'd like to try this, you know, with this song or maybe this different arrangement. And it's just really fun because they do come with the ideas. And, you know, I've had different groups that I've played with which is fine. They would just be like, okay, this is your song. We're going to play it exactly how you want to play it. And there was a time and place for that, but I feel like it's like evolving now into wanting to work together and, you know, make sure that everybody's contributing, and hopefully, you know, over the next few months we can move more into that, because over the last, I would say, 8 years, it's been me just kind of like grinding on, okay, these are my songs, let's play these songs, but moving away from that because it's time to like relax and trust people and, you know, be a little bit more creative and collaborate.
Plus, I don't know for you, but to me, it's one of the best feelings ever just to walk out of like a band practice and someone brought something in, you're like, holy shit, like my song just sounded like that.
Totally.
Like that riff took it to a new level, like that thing, and it's like, holy yeah. You know, you're walking out in the car.
I hope they don't see me.
Practice was great, guys. And then you go out to the car and it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
They're like, Sam, we can see you on the camera.
That sounded like that. Like, that sounded great.
So when did you start playing the dobro?
How long have you been in this band?
Right, like really?
5
years?
Yeah, 5 years ago.
That's cool. I love the dobro. It's beautiful.
And it's a fun instrument. I started out, I'm a bass player, and then I had some friends at a country band. I was running sound for them, and they're like, hey man, you should know how to play this instrument. They gave me like this little like cue ball, like stick, like cue stick.
Yeah.
So what the hell is this? Open up. It's a lap steel. I was like, oh, cool. I'll learn how to play that.
Cool.
And so I taught myself how to do that, and then I played with them for a while. Then I got into a country punk band and did that, and that was fun. And then they came around and were like, hey, if you do it with us, you could do it acoustically and not have to carry an amp. And I was like, say no more.
Sold.
Yeah. So
it was funny because I think we were recording and he was like, hey man, you know, just a real friendly dude. So it's like, you know, we didn't even know Health that well. And he's like, hey man, if you ever do anything, you ever need someone to play like dobro, I think I have one and I'd use it. And if you ever want to do that, it's like, okay. And then Chad, the singer for Grizzly Band, was like, yeah, man, I think we're done. Like, we're going to break up. And I was like, so what you're saying is like, your band's free now.
I was eligible to be traded.
And we were like,
claimed on waivers.
It's pretty much instantaneous. Like, yeah, you're with us now.
But yeah, it's just a fun instrument. And it's a nightmare for most sound guys.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, shit. Because all it does is feedback in monitors and stuff. But Matt last night nailed it. I never once got feedback in the monitors.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because normally the low D string is like
resonates.
Yeah.
Dude, he nailed it. That guy. Like, let's bring him.
So you just go direct with it? You don't have an amp?
No, I have no amp. I use this really awesome Fishman preamp that I bought. A guy who plays for Jake Owen. I talked to him. He's a pedal steel player for him, but he plays dobro with him too. I was like, man, what do you use? Because like I'm noticing that every time I play live, you know, the sound guy just wrecks my tone. Like, and he goes, dude, get this pedal. Jerry Douglas, a famous dobro player, designed this pedal with Fishman, and he went through and did all these pre-recordings with different setups of different mics and locations and all that stuff. And so it's all pre-programmed in there, so I can just turn the knob and I got the tone.
Wow.
And so I just go straight from that. So it always guarantees that I have the same tone, and then, you know, hopefully we don't get any feedback. That's it. Yeah. But it's awesome. It makes my life so much easier. So I can basically, like, I did a tour where we flew in, and all I had to bring was my dobro and have a little mini board. And that was it.
Okay.
That's
so
awesome.
So nice.
Made my life great. So.
Wow. Nice. Well, sounded great.
Fishman, if you want to sponsor me, hey, I'm here.
And I've seen their amplifiers, right? Don't they make amplifiers? Yeah.
And their stuff's really good. But that was, you know, it was not cheap, but man, it was a game changer. The second I got that, I was like, okay, now this makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't sound like a dobro sounds like a dobro, but through certain PA systems, it's all tinny sounding. And
it's painfully piercing.
Yeah,
Right.
it hurts your ears. So
Yeah.
I was thankful for that.
They've had a few dobros come through the swing station.
True. Well, Sugar Britches alone has that. What's his name? He's
Ansel.
Yeah, dude, that guy's sick.
He's a beast.
I know.
Yeah.
I was glad he wasn't in town to judge me.
Hey man, do you need lessons?
Actually, yes, sir, I do.
I think they had a gig last night. I talked to Brian this morning.
Yeah, they're in Wyoming, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He did that on purpose. He didn't want to hang out with us.
I know. I missed him. I texted him this morning. I was like, where were you, man?
So we were actually looking at your guitars while you were downstairs. Which one is your favorite to play?
Well,
They can hear you, by the way, so be careful.
I know. I'm looking at the Telecaster.
Oh, they're in the room.
The Telecaster is my favorite.
Okay.
I got that in Memphis, 2005. And it just, you could drag it behind a pickup truck and it would still be in tune. That thing is so solid.
That's what
and
you
I just
need.
love playing. Like I love like the Pixies and just that sort of gritty, sort of bitey sound to the rhythm, playing it in like grungy sort of rock music. But you can also play country with it, and you can play folk sound and music with it, and it's just really versatile. But I do love AC/DC, and so I had to get myself an SG, and that was a present to myself during the pandemic. I was like, well, I'm not spending my money elsewhere, so I'm going to buy myself this SG that I've always wanted. So
It's an investment.
yeah, it was an investment, and it's paid off finally. But
There you go.
but I do love playing that SG. It's a solid rhythm guitar, and I don't really like playing it with a capo. It kind of tends to sound a little weird when you try to put a capo on it.
Yeah.
But it's got this beefy sound for most of the rhythm songs that I play. Yeah.
It's a Gibson thing.
Yeah.
G string never stays in tune.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
We're gonna get a cease
they
and desist
sound
from
cool.
them. Damn it.
Maybe what I gotta do, go through like, oh, that dude has like Gibson acoustics, and,
True.
you know.
I have a Gibson bass.
Or
I have a Gibson Songbird. That's my acoustic.
Nice.
Yeah.
I used a Firebird on our record, and
Yeah.
Use a 68.
I used, of course, actually, Epiphone's just as good.
I've heard this.
Get Epiphone, it's fine.
It is.
Y'all listen to Lucero?
Yes.
Yeah. So Ben uses
Ben
the,
uses Epiphones.
that's what I just got one of those, the Sheridan.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that guitar. It always sounds real good.
Yeah. I just got one I used on a few songs. That was all of our lower electric, was all the heavier was using a Sheridan.
Nice.
That was my excuse. I was like, I paid off my Sweetwater card.
I'm going to
It
put
looks
some more
so
money on it.
lonely. It's already in my budget.
Look at It's only $4 for the next 18 years. Like, I can do this.
If I get feeling frisky, I can double up on the payments.
Right.
What was your acoustic you played last night?
That's actually a,
Bone and Zinga.
however Bill sells his name, yeah. Bonanzinga.
Oh.
So it's a dude we knew from New York that builds guitars. So
Okay.
he builds guitars. I think like how I first saw him and became aware of him was Jay Farrar from Sunvolt. He builds a bunch for him.
Got it.
Brian Henneman from the Bottle Rockets, Kelly Willis, and then just helped him with his website for years and years and years. And then my mom died a few years ago, and I was like, I want something that's just going to be like, use some of that money, buy something that, special guitar that'll just be
Yeah.
like for me. And yeah, so he built that, and it's cool. It's almost like playing Les Paul, like the neck's real thin and everything, so
Yeah.
I can do all my weird thumb wrap around.
Nice.
Because the chubby fingers, it's like doing an F, so like trying to get 4 fat guys in a golf cart. It's like,
Oh my
it's like,
God.
if I can wrap my thumb around, it's like great. That eliminates one of them. We got more space.
That is like the perfect description.
I've never heard that before.
Oh my God. I'm using that in my class this week when I get
That was improv, man. You gotta be ready to improv that shit.
fat guys
Perfect.
in a golf cart.
But I mean, it really is. Where it's just like, they're all squished in.
They're all rubbing together.
Just feels like I'm playing mandolin or something. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys talking about playing guitars is just making me feel like a total failure, because the first time I tried to wrap my hand around a guitar and couldn't really make a chord, I was just like, I can't do this.
That's where most people give up. So anyone listening who doesn't play hard, it hurts for a while.
It
is.
does.
Yeah,
It
you're
takes a long
stretching. I
time.
mean,
It's very unnatural hand positions.
Yep.
Like I always tell people, like when you start, it's like, do this, like make a F chord or something when you're not, and see how that feels. It's like, ow. It's like, yeah. But you do it long enough, and it's like, oh, it's fine.
Or look.
You look like you're flipping people off when you start trying to play minor chords.
Yes. Or just small-handed people start picking up a dobro. Square neck. Go for it. You use a bar.
There you go.
Yeah.
The only time it sucks is when you're up north and it's cold.
I'm just trying to
Ooh.
find a band to play my ukulele in. That's it.
Or do like Samantha Crane does, who, if you've never heard, Samantha Crane's awesome.
I haven't.
But she's maybe like, she's shorter than Kim. She may be like 4'10", 5 foot. And she plays, but she down tunes her guitars and capos them up pretty high so that she can play stuff so the frets are closer. And it's like, there's always a way to get around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tenor guitar,
True.
Yeah.
baritone ukulele, because it's basically a guitar, just the bottom 4 strings. So, but yeah, it is funny trying to get to where it's like, oh, this is so. Don't give up when it hurts at first. It's normal. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Totally.
Open tune your guitar. Use one finger.
There you go. We've talked about that.
Yeah. That's one of the things. Like a big Melvins fan, which I talk about all the time, but that was some Buzz Osborne's like, I don't understand why we try to make it hard for everybody. Everyone, when they get a guitar, should be like, here's open E.
Yep.
Play with one finger.
Yeah.
figure out shapes. And he goes, then when you want to make it more difficult for yourself, start tuning it to normal and then learn all the weird shapes. He's like, but tune something you can sit down. If you can play a song the first day, you'll be like...
Gives you so much confidence.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Like, dude, I want to do this. Like, I was able to make this. Even just drop D, it's like, here, you can play power chords all day by yourself. And it's like, this is...
Right. I recently learned that the Melvin's bass player was Shirley Temple's daughter.
Yeah, Lori Black, like back in the olden days. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she was in a couple of weird bands too. What was the one? Something Circus. But yeah, she was actually like dirty, grungy, heavy bands. And then it was like you said, they started dating and moved to San Francisco. It was like, by the way, my mom's kind of famous.
Yeah.
Like kind of famous.
Yeah, and it's like they
Shirley Temple famous.
Right, it's like, did we
She
go
has
to the
a
house?
drink named after her. It's tasty. It's cherries and 7-Up.
So
Damn, it's good.
being just some like, punk metalish kind of guy, and it's like dating some girl. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go visit my parents at Shirley Temple. And
Oh. What?
Hey, what's up?
Right?
Like, we're here. This is weird.
Yeah.
Can you do the song? It's good, chip, lollipop.
Come on. And if you don't listen to... No, wait, that's not... Is it her that does I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas?
She probably did a version. I mean, there's, those.
I mean, they sweatshopped those kids out.
Yeah. That's why none of them acted when they got older. It was like,
Right.
I'm going to go into politics to fix these things, but then the money's too good and they don't. So, it's
It's good they do it in music too.
Here's
Like
$2
boy
million
bands.
if you don't change it. Okay,
Yeah, you know what?
I mean, I grew up
Like,
a
what was I saying?
well-adjusted. Right. I grew up a well-adjusted adult.
I wasn't mad. I was not mad at all.
So y'all said
fine.
you have a new album coming out?
Wait, who's interviewing who here?
No, I know.
It's like, everyone's going to be like,
Turn on the tables.
we don't want to hear y'all.
Oh, that you just recorded an album.
No.
But we did. We just finished a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I had to
Thank
do it to
God.
keep from messing with it. It's like already pushed it out. It's coming out in March. We got singles.
Cool.
And it was just like, I have to put it out or else I'll be like, we probably could go back and re-record this part.
It'd be like we're sitting on the couch talking and the knee starts to go. And then he's looking at his phone. And then like 20 minutes later, he's like, I'll be gone. I'll be back. I'm going to go in the office. And I won't see him for like 3 hours. But I hear the album just playing like one song on a constant loop. Like,
I'm like, there's
something in there he
weird.
doesn't like that he can't fix.
But I even found, it was the funny thing. So we have the Better Off Gone song has been out on an EP. And we went back and we re-recorded it. But because I'm lazy, I was like, we'll reuse this bass track. And it's like the bass track's going to change. It's fine. And we'll re-record a few other, like we recorded drums and a few other things with it. And like as we're mastering this one, it's like, wait, something weird happens there. Like I apparently have some weird like muscle spasms, like do. And I was like, this has been out a year and I've never heard this.
Wow.
So like a minute 15, if you listen, there is a mistake on the EP version.
They never would have known had we not mentioned that.
I know, but then I had to go back and I was like, oh no, I got to fix this. But digital recording, cut and paste.
There you go.
In and out.
Yeah. So it comes out in March.
Yeah.
That's
we got
exciting.
that. I know. Yeah, we've been doing more crazy stuff. Because during the pandemic, we were stuck at home. Where before, like our first record was just we recorded it basically live with microphones and just recorded it like one shot.
Yeah.
We got stuck inside the house for Hurricane Harvey.
Oh,
for
gosh.
12 days.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. So we just basically, we recorded all this stuff click-tracked out and it just sounded like very robotic. Mm-hmm. And we're like, dude, we play, at the time it was just me and Kim. So I was like, we'll do this live. It's acoustic and all that, 2 vocals. Like, let's just do it how we do it live.
Yep.
So we did that. Then we had a few friends come in. That's where For Hell first did. He came in and played a couple songs. And then...
And I pointed out that one of the songs...
Yeah, that I actually changed speed, like I guess timing, like on the choruses. And I was like, well, it's just how it goes.
It's punk rock, baby.
We only wrote this song 2 weeks ago. What do you want from me? And then we got trapped at home during the pandemic, and I've been taking drum lessons and stuff and just playing. And I was like, fuck, man, we make a real record.
Yeah.
So then we just started layering stuff on. And John did a great job from Richards and Chills mixing and everything. But every time he turned the drums up, I was all paranoid. I'm like, no, turn them down.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of thin sound just because I kept telling John, turn the drums down.
And this is the Better Off Gone? You're talking
No,
about?
this is the Crack, Flawed, and Frayed, like our big record we have.
Got it. Okay.
And then this record, I was like, I was less afraid. So I wasn't like, okay, I know how to play drums. Like I've done this. Like I've been playing with a few
I think
times
we
live.
gain confidence with everything we record. You're like that.
I mean, I'm
right?
sure you feel that way.
You
Yeah.
hear yourself and you're like, that
For
doesn't
sure.
sound terrible. Okay.
Yeah. It definitely gets better every time. I mean, I always hear flaws and I could tinker with it forever, but there's some point you just got to let it go and move on to the next project. But yeah, for sure.
I always have this like panic thing. I'm starting to wonder if it's my ears.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'm at that age where I need to get my hearing checked, but it also is probably just my anxiety being on stage. But I'll hear one of you play in a video, somebody posted something on Instagram. I'm like, I was 99% sure that I made a really bad mistake right there, and I didn't. You don't even hear anything.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it's my ears. I don't know, but
we're just super critical of ourselves. I think.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
everyone's that way.
Yeah.
I guess.
And
So.
Kim's gotten really good because she used to not be able to hear anything. And it was really annoying. Now I'd play stuff. She's like, there's something weird there. And I'm like, I'm the one who's like, oh my God, a bird made a sound outside. I know, I just heard it. And she's like, no, there's something weird. It's like, there's not. There's something weird with the kick drum. They like isolate. It's like, it bounced the head. And it's like,
Yeah.
I told you messed up. Whatever.
It takes a while. I had to train my ears and I'm still training them. They don't work very well.
Yeah, and the
Like
ear
I said.
fatigue is a real thing too. If you listen
Yeah.
to stuff over and over for so long, you got to take a break because
Yeah.
it just starts
real,
sounding
Sam.
Well, no,
warped.
I even say it's like that whole dysmorphia thing where no matter how it sounds, everything sounds wrong. Your ears are hearing something you focused on,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh God. And you hear it like we were doing all the de-essing stuff, and it was like when I spoke and I said S sound, I was like, I can't say any S words in public anymore because I hear this. It's like, no, please stop. No.
What's up, guys?
It's terrible. It's like the worst.
Do you record your own stuff, or do you have you recorded in studios, or?
It's been a mixture of things. So the first album is called Attack of Killer Redheads, and did that in a studio here in town with Stout Studios. And so my brother was in town. There was another time I convinced him to come out here from Memphis, and I was like, hey, while you're here, do you want to play some drums and bass on this record? And so we went and worked with Darren Radich, and he recorded everything for us, and then he mixed and mastered it. And then the second album, we did more of like a DIY, went to my friend Jared's house and just recorded. We had one full day in the studio just to crank out all the guitar and drums. So I did guitar, my brother did drums, and tracked everything else just one at a time. And it was a really long process, and it was July, and he had no air conditioning, and we're like in this tiny ass room just like sweating our asses off, like 4 of us crammed into one room trying to get everything done. So it was a long process, but we were so happy with how it turned out. But it was a way different experience than the first, just sort of do everything in the studio. And then the pandemic recording I was telling you about, that was more when I started recording myself at home, and then started working with my friend Shane over here, who lives not too far away, and he has this old reel-to-reel Tascam 388. And I was walking past his garage one day, and I was like, what is that reel-to-reel, Can we please record with that? And he's like, sure, come over. So pandemic style, just kind of went over there and cranked out a bunch of songs, and then started sending pedal steel tracks back and forth for some of the songs, and then vocals for friends who live north of town. And so that was more of a remote sort of DIY project. And then this last one we did, Madison and Angelus, which came out last year. We just went one full day in the studio and just cranked out all the songs, all 4 of us, and then sent it off for mastering and mixing. And it was more of an experiment of like, let's try not to make it last for, 17 months to get it done. Let's see how fast we can crank this out. And it ended up being like 9 months versus, over a year. But I don't know. I just like to experiment with different ways of doing things. So we had like this sound engineer who has this studio north of town. He converted his parents' garage into a studio, and he's interned at the blasting room here in town.
Okay, yeah.
So he like reverse engineers all of his microphones, and he has all of these sound walls that he's built. He's a carpenter, and he just really has set this place up in his own way. And so it was a really unique place to go record, and it's just out in the mountains, and it was a pretty cool experience just to spend a day out there with him. Yeah, and then we sent it in to get mastered and mixed with the blasting room. So I'm always using the blasting room mainly for my mixing and mastering, but other than that, it's been an array of experiences for actually capturing the tracks. Yeah.
That's really cool. We've never done it in a studio before, unless you count, was it America's?
What's it called?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Oh.
The recording studios that used to be in the mall.
Oh, yeah.
She did that.
That's right. I remember those.
It's the only studio I've ever recorded.
Did you also do glamour shots?
No.
Don't even lie.
My whole family did glamour shots. I never did them, thank God, but whew, glad I didn't. I dodged a bullet with that one.
You did. The smoky look.
Oh, yeah. The black lacy sort of like rose
your
sort
feathery boa.
Oh, my God. So funny.
Your 6 picture was just a school picture, right?
My what?
The one where you look like Blossom's friend 6, where you have tats.
That was 6. That was one of my graduation photos.
Okay, yeah, she had the hat and everything. And
So we're gonna post that when this episode comes out.
It's already out there.
I posted it before.
It's on
It
the
might
internet.
actually be on our Instagram.
It needs to come back, cycle back through that bad boy.
It's amazing.
It's a future album cover.
I didn't have a great smile, so I was just kind of wistful, and I look really sad actually. So I look. But I have a great hat and great hair.
You actually had a hat on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had the hat. That's why
So you actually had the wow.
like one of the
Now
big
I'm
hats.
gonna go down the rabbit hole and find the photo. Great.
But
We'll show it to you.
But I think a lot of it is, especially with, kind of style like you're doing right now and everything, it works better when you just go in and do it and like get the band together. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all these great bands in the old days used to be like, okay, we can afford like 12 hours in the studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're going
Let's
to
go
record
do
it
it.
in 8 and mix it in 4, and then we're done.
Yeah.
And, these are some like recordings that stand the test of time. So,
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you grew up in Memphis, you go to any of the old Stacks or Sun, and that's what
Yeah.
they're talking about. Like, well, we just moved the piano 3 feet up if we need it louder. And it's like,
Yep.
and, everybody this day is like, nothing sounds as good as those records.
Yep.
And we're all like, you have to isolate everything and
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
make it sound like this.
3 tracks for this and 4 tracks for that.
Yeah, we overdid that on Baby Dragon, which, don't get me wrong, I love how Baby Dragon sounds, but like you said, on this most recent recording, we were all in the room together. We made sure we could just all play at the same time, and it just made the vibe of the whole record just so much better, because it just was warm, and it was the first time we didn't use the click track either. We just played it, because we were like, our drummer was like, yeah, I don't really want to use that, and so we were like, okay, well, let's try this experiment and see how it goes. And there are definitely parts where the tempo changes. It's noticeable, but at the same time, it makes it more realistic. And I kind of like that unique part of the album. Is like you can hear the different fluctuations in the timing. It doesn't feel super robotic, like you're stressing to stick to that click track. So I thought that was pretty fun. I mean, I'm not saying we'll always record without a click track, but it was fun to experiment and just kind of go out there and do it.
Well, see, I'm a big fan of like the theater of it all, where it's like, okay, this song should get slower here and be a little more like,
Totally.
like, okay, and then
Where's the build?
even just 5 beats per minute, just bring it down and come back up.
Well, man, that's why like a lot of like singer-songwriters who do like the single acoustic thing, when they do the band thing, it's hard for them because when they play it based off feeling.
Yeah.
And so if you're the one trying to square it out, you're like, hey, buddy.
Yep.
Like, that's not 4/4. Like, I don't know what you're in. And that kind of changes the dynamic for them. So, yeah, so sometimes it works better to just throw it all at one time and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that from some drummers too, is like some songwriters they play with, it's hard for them to click together because the songwriter's going on so many different adventures with their tempo,
Yeah.
And the drummer's like, hold up.
Hold up, bro. Like, you got your job, I got my job.
Yeah, exactly. Where do we meet in the middle?
Split the difference.
That definitely took a while. I mean, I played in bands and stuff, but when I did solo stuff, trying to like bring people into that, where it's like, well, no, this is where sometimes when it feels right, we just drop everything out here and just kind of like play really soft and sing this, and then it's like, oh, I didn't know that was coming. Like, well, hell, too bad. Now you do.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, you do that to me all the time, too.
15% of the time that may happen.
Right.
But now you're used to it.
Yeah,
You're like, okay.
I anticipate having to,
You kinda
slide into something.
Kim can always kind of tell us, like, I can tell by the way you're playing going into it if you're going to drop out or if you're going to. I'm not nice. I don't make eye contact or
No,
anything.
well,
You don't.
It wouldn't help you anyway because I don't
cues,
look
no
up.
indicators.
None.
I'm too busy going, whoa, what's that person doing? Or there's one person looking at us, we'll be more dramatic. Someone's actually paying attention. So it's like, this is for you.
We have a rule now, like in our rider when we tour, that there can't be a TV in his eyesight when we're on stage.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Like, it's severe ADD. Like, if it's like anything's happening, it's like,
Did I just skip a whole verse?
Was it the
Yes, you
outside
did.
show recently where the traffic was bothering you? Like you kept
oh,
catching
God. Well, no, it was just like the most busy street. And the cops kept coming by. I'm like,
What do we do?
what's happening? Like, what's
we in
someone
trouble?
arrested? Like, there's a whole drama taking place because the stage looked out on the street.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just like, there's stuff happening, like, all around.
Oh gosh.
And it's like, yeah, so I have to lean over to Kim and instrument. I was like, what verse are we on? Is this the first or third verse?
So see, kids, even professionals, we don't know what we're doing. We're winging it.
It's all muscle memory.
It could go off the rails at any moment.
I always say that's the fun thing about seeing big bands and stuff now that you play and stuff. You start noticing, and you also notice how little people notice when you make mistakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you'll be at a show and you'll be like, I can tell by the way the bass player just looked over at the guitar player that one of them just made a mistake. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear it, but they all kind of look and kind of smirk or laugh. And it's like, okay, like here I am seeing like Foo Fighters, and suddenly someone looks over and like, oh, you just missed that. It's like,
get really good at covering it up.
Right. It's like there's so much stage volume, so it's like that. Dude, I didn't hear that.
No one noticed, bro.
But it's just funny that like we see people start going like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm like, could everybody makes nobody's perfect.
I know that's such a rule, is like, don't make a weird face if you mess up, just go with it. Don't stop and be dramatic. I can tell when people do that and I'm like, just keep going.
Yeah, that's the first rule. Just don't stop.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Go through it.
Just keep going.
Well, that was funny. Like when Jordan, our friend we interviewed last interview we did last season, she was talking about that. She's like, yeah, I just went to a show. She goes, after being in a band for so long, I'm like, it's weird that the bass player and guitar player aren't talking to each other or not even interacting. Like, I wonder what they're angry about. And this person, there must be something going on because they're doing this. And then just you could see like everyone's, cause like the whole of the band's interacting except for this one member. And it's like something happened. Like they got in a fight before they came on stage. I'm like, wow. I was like, you really go to a different place. She's like, yeah, I'm always like, I start noticing all the band drama because and it's like hard. It's like, okay, we're here to listen to the music. We're not here to see what's going on with the band. But it's just funny how people start going, wait, that's weird.
Well, we're all human.
Yeah.
True.
Well, yeah, and it's hard to have 5 people together.
Stuffed into a van together. I don't know how she died. I think that was the first thing I ever said to her. I was like, I don't know how you tour in a van with these 5 guys. 4 guys.
You make sure every
do
so often you just have some space. Everyone needs like make sure there's like space in places.
Well, that's something that I've never really done. You guys have all the experience with touring. I've never really toured.
No.
I've only ever played in
like just
regional,
kind of locally.
Yeah, local areas. I would love to go tour, but then the way people talk it up, it kind of makes me want to not. Talking about licking toilets and you know, being in a 5-person van. You know,
it's just the earlier punk band days was like, do you have a place we can stay? It's like, you can stay with me. It's like it would be like 6 people just like in this floor of this little studio. Like, okay, like, I'll go sleep in the bathtub.
Yeah.
We stayed in New Jersey one night and like
As an adult.
And I'm still not sure that anyone owned that house. I think we're in a squatter house. You know, and I was like, this is how I die? No. Yes, I mean it's
children.
Right? But see now we tour, the 3 of us tour in a Kia Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you better like each other because you were right by each other the entire time.
Yeah.
Audiobooks are the key because they're like, we're listening to the story, we're not talking, we're not arguing about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the story.
Nice.
We've listened to so many great books.
That sounds nice.
It really is. We have a good time, man. But you know, I think the biggest thing is just finding bands and towns you want to play with that you like.
Yeah.
Do shows like that, and then you're going to have a good time because they're going to make sure that they, you know, put everything out there to make people there and, you know, get you paid and all that stuff. That's what you want.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine like trying to do it now not knowing anybody.
Right.
Like just cold calling, you know, something. Ooh, no, thank you.
It seems so daunting for me to even consider it. And plus, the guys I play with, they all have kids, and you know, it's just hard for everyone to get away. And
look, if there are school teachers like me, you can have kids and go do stuff. So.
Well, one of them's a teacher. AJ, the drummer, he's an occupational. Well, he's a music therapy professor at CSU.
Well, that's a little. I teach high school.
Well, but he's a teacher, so he's got the teacher schedule.
And that's what is nice.
Yeah, but I don't know about everybody else and their schedules. We'll see. Maybe we can find some time to get away.
Are you like us? Do you have like a full-time day job kind of thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Adulting.
Yep. Adulting.
So stupid.
Ain't it fun?
That's why everyone at work's like, why don't you take a real vacation? It was like, no. Like this year was the first time I've taken any trip just to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was just because from the pandemic, we had all this airfare we had paid. We were going to do a Pacific Northwest tour.
Oh, wow.
And then the pandemic hit. Then it came back, and rental cars went from like $30 a day to $120 a day.
They're ridiculous now.
Yeah, and it's like, well, cool, we can't. We're going to play 10 shows in 10 days and probably make, $100 a show or $200. And all of that is going to a rental car. And it's like, no,
it's not worth it.
We're going to lose our asses on this. So we had all this money, so I was like, I've never been to Los Angeles. I'm going to fly there for 2 days and fly back.
Yep.
Which was great. Just walked everywhere. And
went to the Troubadour, saw a show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Didn't eat the entire time.
Who'd you see?
Donovan Woods. That was it, yeah. Me neither. I never listened to him before or since, but it was going on. Our friend Dan sent me a picture, like, what do you think of this guy? I'm like, oh, he's all right, I don't know if I jam him all the time, but it's not turning me off or making me angry.
Yeah.
Cool, he's playing the Troubadour on the first night you're there, you should go. Like, okay.
Your friends know you well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love that he's like, what do you think of this band? Well, you should go see them. Like, okay.
Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, I enjoy being, I don't know about you, but I'm behind a desk all day long.
Yeah.
So I enjoy not staring at a computer for 10 hours.
Totally. Yeah.
Even though I'm just staring at the back of a car seat. I mean.
Or you're staring at a computer doing schoolwork.
Yeah, that's true. I am trying to finish my degree right now.
In what?
I'm just trying to finish my degree in business.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
To become an accountant.
Nice.
I'm not going to become an accountant.
Nana the accountant.
My love. I'm going to learn this stuff so I can handle the band stuff. How's that?
Oh, that's smart.
There we go.
That'll be good.
I was going to go on tour before the pandemic. I had a whole plan. I was going to the UK, and I was going with a friend from Denver. She's a touring musician from Texas, too.
Cool.
And we had it all planned out, and then the pandemic hit. And it was just like the one time in my life I had planned it. And we were just going to do it solo, do it easy, and like meet some people and, you know, not bring the whole band, just kind of make some connections. But then that kind of fell through because we all know what happened there. But
Yeah.
I got to get the guts up to do it again.
Yeah.
But that's the way to do it, is to do it with a friend. You used to tour with your friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we were all musician friends.
Yeah.
But like you and my friend Nathan used to say, like, I'm very much like, hey, we're going out, but I don't want to show up in this town. We're going to sit at the bar for 8 hours and play for an hour.
Totally.
It's like, what's in this town? Like, what historic things are here?
Yep.
What can we go do? What can we go dig in and, you know, do something besides just, all right, we're waiting to play. We're waiting to
On
play.
this tour, we got to go to Wyoming to the state capital in Cheyenne.
Oh, cool.
We learned a lot of interesting stuff.
That's my nerd
that-
thing. It's like, I want to go to state I go to state capitals all over.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool.
It's fun. And it's just something to break up the monotony.
Yeah.
Because like the first time we went to Memphis, we drove from Houston to Memphis, and there was like, okay, we'll go to Sun, then we'll go do these few things.
Did you go to Stax?
We didn't go to Stax the first time. We went. I think I went there the second time we played Memphis.
Cool.
Which was super cool. Then years later, I got to come back up and bring my mom. My mom did like a weekend tour with me because we were going to visit my brother when he was living in Jackson, and I took her, and because my mom, that was like her jam, like all that kind of music. She was a big pop music fan, so anything. She's like, I don't understand why we're coming here. And like, I don't know any of this. And she just walked in and was like, I love all of this songs. And like, she just disappeared. Like we came like an hour and a half later, we found her.
That's awesome.
And we're like, dude, this was great. Like mom just, every time headphones on, like this is everything I listened to. And I was like, see, I told you.
Yep. That Stax sound.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing.
So cool.
Yeah. Yep. Good. Glad you made it to Stax. Yeah. I like to travel around and check out stuff too. I'm a nerd and I love learning the history of places and what influences the music and the food and how people got there and different cultures behind it. I mean, being from half my family's from a different country, so I've always just been fascinated with like how people got to where they are and where they're going.
That's cool because we were talking about that with John and Rebecca. They sent us text the other day when they were in Laramie. He's like, we're trying Tex-Mex in Laramie, Wyoming. I'm like, dude, the diaspora has gotten so much. Like the best Mexican food I've ever had was in Boone, North Carolina.
Boone, I went to Appalachian State.
Okay, wow.
Oh,
right
really
on.
sweet.
Yeah.
So see, that's why I said earlier, like Appalachian. I know to say Appalachian to not get booed off stage. So.
That's right. You gotta say it right. It's Appalachian.
Mess that up, please.
Our friend Dank was like, hey man, just one thing to warn y'all before y'all go up there. It's Appalachian.
do not say Appalachian.
He goes,
So true.
Because I've been at stadium shows. People are like, dude, Appalachian State. It's like, boo.
Yep.
And like they wouldn't stop. Like, okay, it's our next song. Boo.
So true.
I was like, that's great.
Boone, North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, it's one of our
Gorgeous.
favorite places, and it was the same thing.
So beautiful.
It was like the best Mexican food in Texas. Like little small building, the one niece that speaks English running the register, and everybody else making the best like home style food ever.
Dude, Walsenburg, we went to Mexican restaurant there.
Yeah, that was legit.
It was legit.
Oh, I bet.
It was more new Mexican.
It was tasty.
Yeah.
That's all I
Definitely
care
New
about.
Mexican.
We do like to find food when we're on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shockingly.
Right.
I love doing that too.
Health is always coming up with food recommendations. It's
Yeah.
great.
Look, when you don't drink,
That's
you
true.
find something to do.
Yeah.
My only vice is
Yeah.
all the food.
Yeah.
Right, I'm the home brewer guy. It's like, we gotta stop at these 7 breweries while we're in town.
I've been to so many breweries with you, and I don't even drink.
Sad but true.
It's just something to kill time, you know.
Well,
What we do.
you don't need any encouragement, but you should totally get out on the road. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I do need the encouragement. Thank you.
Come
I'll
to
take it.
Texas.
It really
Your
is
songs
good
are
to
great.
just do the couple weeks and just, see if you like it.
Yeah.
Use your vacation time. Go out and do
Like
it.
we do.
I will. Yeah. I mean, that's what I got to do is just use my vacation time and plan for a big chunk of time. And I'll come see y'all in Texas.
Come
Ooh,
on.
that would be
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
man, we'll
Put
definitely
together a
get stuff
show.
booked.
I'd love to. Yeah. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, it only sucks for a little bit, like the day you get home, because we've left Pacific Northwest tour. We got home at 6 a.m. and I was at work at 8.
Yeah.
After flying all night, I was like, too bad I can't waste any more vacation time. I need that for the next tour we booked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like even when we left for this one, it's like we get home, I'll have 4 hours left. But then Christmas is coming, so I'm not going to use any until next March. I'll be back up to like 2 weeks. It'll be good.
There we go.
And that's really about how we do everything. Why don't you come to this? Like, no, we're going to a lake. No.
Yeah.
Can't use any vacation.
Right.
Good.
It's just the way to do it. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and
wait, are we going to do our last segment?
That's what I was about to say. I'll let Health, since Health came up with the idea. We thought we needed a gimmick segment.
It's a new season, right? So we needed to have something because we've done the whole talk. Let's have like a final question kind of thing, and we have an idea for it. So what's a local band that you like that you think should be promoted? Like, what do you like? Who's someone that you really dig? Put it out there.
Okay, that's a tough question because I have so many favorite local bands.
I was going to say,
we'll allow you to go. We'll allow you to go up to 3.
Up to 3.
Okay,
Up to
perfect.
3. Okay.
So, there's one that's already gotten kind of big, but I just love them. I'm wearing their shirt right now. Have you heard of the Velveteers?
No.
Check them out. The Velveteers. They're blowing up. They were local for a while, but then now they're on Easy Eye Records with Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys.
Yeah.
But they're touring with the Glorious Sons, I think, right now. I think that's the name of that band.
Okay.
Can't say enough about the Velveteers.
And I even see the record back there, so you're not lying. Like,
No, I'm a super fan. Yeah, totally. Let's see. I really love the Reminders. They're out of Colorado Springs, and they're a hip hop duo. And they're such a fun show. They just get everybody on their feet and moving. They're a couple. They've got beautiful kids, and they're just a beautiful family. They're also, they play some pretty big shows too. So I'm trying to think of some smaller bands that are local that should be promoted more. I'm just going to list like a bunch, even though you told me just 3.
Well, in depth on 3, but you can tell us a bunch more. You're going fast. We figured you may spend like 10 minutes, and then this band. So keep going.
All right. Okay. All right. We've got Porlolo. I really love Porlolo a lot. There's this band called Trujillo and Company. There's Blue Book. There's Still Tide. Kid Astronaut. Oh my God. Jesus Christ Taxi Driver.
Oh, I love that.
That's a great name.
Yeah. Crooked Rugs. Obviously Sugar Britches.
Duh.
Poudre Valley Playboys.
Okay.
Have y'all heard of them?
Hey, yeah, I've seen that. I saw the sticker on your van we walked last night and today. Yeah.
Yeah, so that used to be Sugar Britches' other half was Josh Long. So when they split up, he started Poudre Valley Playboys, and so they have their own thing going on, and then Sugar Britches, obviously. So now that's just made like twice as much goodness of music in the world now that they kind of have done their own thing. Man, the list goes on and on. Musketeer Gripweed, West Side Joe, and the Minnesota.
I want to say I saw a sticker from Musketeer Gripweed in Wyoming.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Crazy. I have to go back. You listed so many, I lost track. So I have to go back and listen to this.
This is recorded.
I could go on though.
Thank God we're recording this.
Yeah, there's a lot of great bands around here. I'm sure
this is good. See, I had a good idea finally.
I like that idea a lot. It's an honor to be a part of your second season.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for doing
Second
it.
season.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, we had to, once we heard you, we had to talk to you for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it really does help to get the word out. So I love what you're doing. Your mission is awesome.
Thank you.
And it is hard to be an independent musician for sure. Because I don't know, it just seems like everything is about how you look anymore. And, having like this like sex appeal or like you're riding around on the hood of a car or, when I really think the music should just speak for itself. And so being able to talk about it's awesome. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. You almost have to have some sort of controversy around you outside of the music at all times to remain mainstream relevant.
Yep.
Well, because you're selling yourself, and for somebody who's not too much of an extrovert, that's hard.
Yep. Totally.
I'm happy being niche.
Does this mean I gotta start playing shirtless?
Please.
I think so. These are cute.
It's gonna do it.
Like the Dillinger 4. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Hopefully we see you for too long.
Safe travels back home.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, y'all. That's it for the first episode of season 2. We hope you really enjoyed it. Again, if you like what you hear, share with your friends, man. Tell people about it. Go follow Bevin Luna on Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever streaming service you use. Follow her on Instagram at Bevin Luna Music. And, get out there and support it, man. There's lots of live shows going on every day. So go out there and support live music and support all these independent artists really just burning up the highways back and forth. We're going to leave you now with one more song from Miss Bevin Luna. It's called Masquerade. Also from the new EP. And next week we'll be back with Mel Gutierrez of Shame on Me. Y'all be good out there. See you next week.